Baldur's Gate 3 boss Sven Vincke says devs should only give fans a license to make mods, not shut down their work. When it's free and clearly fan based, I don't think you need to crack down on that. And now I think he's in the right ballpark. I will say this. Bethesda has one of the best modding communities. In fact, knows how to treat their modders, and they treat them with open arms and much praise and love because the modders, the modding community adds stuff to make these games replayable. They make them far more. Um, they have more depth to them, more adventures, more stories, more characters, more features, more weapons and instances, and just like there's so much stuff that modders can do to add games. Love them or not, the modding communities for Minecraft, Bethesda, they know how to treat their modding community because they give them, they support them, they approve of their work, and they in fact give them ways to help their modding process. Bethesda more than Minecraft, but Sven here is like he's not wrong. And in fact, like the thing about Baldur's Gate is they have a great modding community and they're embracing their modders, and that's what's going to carry the game forward. That's what carries these games like Bethesda, like Fallout 4 and Skyrim have some of the best mods for games in my opinion. And these there's like what 30,000 mods in total for Skyrim on Nexus Mods, and there's like 12,000 I believe mods for Fallout 4. Um but these can add so much depth, and there's really no major issue to have them in the game. Have people create mods for games because that only lets players play your games longer, and it looks good on your end because that means if the modding community is why people come into your games, well, I mean, they might not be coming in to play your game just to see what the mods are, but that's still money in your pocket. That's still people playing your game. Um, and ultimately, like that's how you get people to stay around for years and years. That's how Skyrim is so popular. If Bethesda completely rejected the modding community for Skyrim would have been dead years ago. It would have been, and I don't mean to disparage the game, but the modding community is what's been carrying it and keeping it alive for so long. Same with Fallout. Same with Minecraft. If these companies that made these games completely and outright rejected the modding community in the entirety, these games would be dead. They wouldn't be talked about. And I don't understand why there are companies out there who just are just so against the modding community. Like these games are only going to stay alive if you embrace the modding community, or if you make the game a live service game. Which don't do that. Live service is miserable because it's overdone and done in the wrong for the wrong reasons. They're done to make more money and more money and more money, not to add more content, not to make the game more replayable. They're not done in the right reasons. And like I get it, it's business. You got to find ways to make money. I can't fault businesses for doing that, but at a certain point, you're doing too much, and you're driving people away because you're making it so apparent that you're in it for only the money, and that's why companies like EA and Ubisoft have such bad records, is because they're microtransaction, and it pisses people off. And games like Baldur's Gate, I've not played it much. I've played like 30 minutes of it. It's not really my game. I don't really do turn-based games very much unless it's something that's very specifically interesting to me, like um, Dawn of War and Dawn of War 2 from 40K. Those are great games, but they're also more strategic. This is like this is this is a guy who understands modders, understand how they contribute to keeping a game alive, and since they're not adding any more content to Baldur's Gate 3, he understands the only way to keep the game alive is through the modders and through the community. Yeah. um, so I I I I understand he's in the right ballpark. I don't I like I if I agree with the sense of giving a license. It shouldn't be mandated though. It shouldn't be mandated to make a license. When it's free and clearly fan based, I don't think you need to crack down on that. That's hitting the nail on the head. There's no reason to crack down on mods when it's free and it's not stealing content or taking away from something. It's adding to it. Like when Nintendo, when they crack down on on Mario figures in Gary's mod and stuff like that, that's not necessary. It's kind of ridiculous and it's pointless. Like there's no reason to do that, but Nintendo just wants to do that. Anyway, Sven, he's pretty on the money with this statement, and like this is why Baldur's Gate 3 is gonna go on for a long time. It's gonna continue being played because they're embracing the modding community. Anyway, that's all I got. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.